it's Sami from Sami's Sweet Life and welcome to Vlogmas Day 20. I did have a migraine this morning, so I'm feeling a little bit yuck, and Olivia is homesick today because she had a fever, and so it's just a mostly at-home day. I gotta go pick up some groceries and we're gonna stop and get a couple of little treats here and there. I'm actually right now having my phone open working on uploading pictures. I ran out of storage this morning. Like when I opened my phone it said out of storage, so I'm uploading all of my photos to my Amazon Photos backup, and then I will clear some space. When I'm doing those clips where I'm showing you guys, I do those on my phone, so I have to delete those and keep making more space, but I really just need to clear out photos. It says I have like 25 gigabytes worth of photos on my phone. Most of them are backed up anyway, but I'm just doing the last little backup. So last night, really quick, just really late right before bed, I started decorating in January a little bit, and I showed you a little bit of this. I'm going to speed through it. I do have some important information like on the second page of some of these weeks, so I will put a picture here and block off that. But I'm going to show you guys that speed up real quick of how I started decorating this. And next, I ended up doing one other thing. I got my B6 planner stack in my Aura Estelle cover. I decided I did want both planners in here. I will walk through all the setup and information about these, but I just want to show you guys the logistics of me getting two in here. Like, they actually stack pretty flat, not entirely flat on the spines, but I didn't want them both bending and warping. I know that these books can take it, but I'm not sure how long they can last like that. So I ended up putting the elastics in this book, and all I did was I started from the center with the middle of the elastic, like I pulled it until I got to the center, and then looped both sides through until I ran out of elastic, and it was perfect to do all four stripes of elastic. So this is set up that you can make it into like a traveler's notebook style cover, or you can tuck them in the front or the back, and I didn't want both of them tucked in. I want to be able to use this side for stickers and tabs and all sorts of things up in the front covers. And I also wanted to see this cover because this one actually is really pretty. I'm gonna probably put lots of stickers or something on this one to hide some of the black because I don't love the covers of these Aura Estelle planners. But I really like this paper test one with the rose gold and the sand color. I think it's actually really pretty with this pink. It just goes really well together. So I wanted this one front and center. I wanted this one kind of hidden a little bit more. And that way I could use this side as well. So they do stack up really nicely, and I'm on the middle loop. I have an Aura Estelle haul in Vlogmas where I show everything, but I kept it on the middle loop and they both fit really nicely in here. And so I was looking at just sticking this one in and seeing which elastic it fit better, and I figured it would be one of the first two, and then I lined it up into one of those elastics, and so far so good. They're both just B6 books. They both have the like weekly overview little section. They're very similar. Oh, I just passed it. Weekly overview little section, a little bit of notes on that page, and then a daily page. Or Estelle happens to have a dated daily page in this B6. This one's called the Classic Daily. And then this is the paper test, and all the daily pages are dispersed between those weeklies, but they are not dated. So I thought I was going to use these in different ways. So it's basically going to be like a journaling happy stack. I'm going to just be like, this is my happy brick of planners. I want to do some specific actual journaling in one. I want to do some music notes and lyrics in the other, and I put notes of like what I want to track on each thing. I just use Post-its on both of these, like in the beginning. I got Post-its everywhere. So I will walk through the actual books in my planner lineup and tell you how I want to use them, but they're just going to be like sidekick planners. They're not going to be like a productivity focused, keep my life in order planner. They're both just going to be more happy and extra and fun type of planners, but I wanted this little happy brick to work with these two books because I love both of these books. and the B6 size is perfect for just dabbling with various things. So I'm very excited about how I stacked this one together. So there you go with that. That was one of my main events of last night, getting that one all stacked up. Before we move on to Advent stuff, I got one other order of business. This one I've been tweaking the last couple weeks. So this is the Wonderland 222. It's going to be my self-care and wellness and food logging and that type of thing book. I want to just keep track of little wins, but it's mostly going to be just like food, wellness, meditation, that kind of thing. And I've started using it because the pages started the first week of December. Like I have, you know, other things, again, post-it noted here and there to keep track of certain things in here. So I've got post-it notes in the beginning. I started one tracker, but then I got majorly sick and haven't done anything, but I should put in actually the migraines I had. I had migraines. I can look actually. I know I had one this morning, which is the 19th. 19th, and I bet you it's very close to my period is what I'm betting. Okay, so that was a migraine day, and then I had one that Wednesday. Wednesday was a double migraine day. That one was extra good. I'm gonna mark that twice. Like that was an extra double migraine day, and it's in there. And then I've got like things I want to write, post-it notes, but this is how it's kind of shaken up. I wrote the hardcore on the floor calendar in here. I wrote some goals for December, which flew out the window. And then I started doing some food logging. I put in a highlight. I had done something over here about sleep and water tracking, never used it. I also wrote out my Peloton week streak. So I'm at 150 weeks as of this first week in December. And then I put these little circles for like fun mom's nighty type things. I didn't like write in what we did, but I probably could. I think that'd be cute to like make a little note of what we did. I had a highlight here, great checkup at the doctor. This week we had family here and I didn't track food at all. We did lots of takeout, lots of simple sandwiches and things at home. But I've got like self-care days marked in here where I just do a little bit of something for myself on those days. So I just mark those in here. I'm gonna try to have those occasionally. And then this was the week I did double migraines. That night I started feeling sick into the next day and got all of that written out, but like there was not much food logging going on. Like very little food. And then I have a highlight here where I started actually being able to eat food, which was good. And then this was actually yesterday. Did you make a bracelet?
From you.
Oh, okay, but it's a little bit big. Oops. Can I make it smaller so it fits on my wrist?
Yeah, so it's just magic it.
It's just magic it?
I thought it like that.
Okay.
I made it smaller.
Okay, here, clip it together for me
Okay.
so that it fits me. And we're gonna go get groceries here in a couple minutes.
Ow.
Thank you, baby.
Ow.
It hurt your finger? I'm sorry. Here, take these ones and
It's
put them
okay.
back. Thank you, baby.
This one is for my ring and for my flower.
Oh, it might be too big for your ring. They don't squish that circling. Maybe make another bracelet.
Okay.
Okay, go see what you can make, okay?
I'll make a necklace for you.
Thank you. I would love a necklace.
We need a necklace.
Okay,
For my party.
great.
And bracelets.
Oh, bracelets is?
Two bracelets on two hands.
Okay.
This one and on this one.
That's great. Thank you. I love my bracelets. All right, Stella made me a bracelet, which is super cute. Okay, so I ended up writing this all out and realizing this was Sunday and this was Monday. So this was my food actually yesterday. So I'm one day off of the food, but I actually had the migraine this morning. So this part's right. The food logging is not right. So I will not log food today and then log food tomorrow as Wednesday. So yeah, I don't know what. I tried out a new skincare and that, again, I thought it was Tuesday, but it was actually Monday. So all of this was Monday. This was actually Monday. This was actually Sunday. So it's all sorts of mixed up, but I'm like, oh well, like when I go back, it's not that big a deal. I'm not going to X out things and try to move things around. It's just, it is what it is that I was a bonehead and just didn't know what day it was. I'm like doing this. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think it's Tuesday the whole day and it's actually just Monday. Anyway, I got my week streak in here. I feel like that's a great thing to document. I'm not actually doing much on Peloton except just meditation right now. So I wrote in here, journaling, meditation, gratitude. I need to have a dot pen with me and maybe a highlighter. I want to highlight some of this down here, like this new skincare. I want to make sure that migraines pop out so I know when they are. And yeah, so far it's just kind of changing a little bit from week to week, adding in a few things here and there. Like highlights, I've got some stickers in this side. I am going to go get a coffee today to hopefully like push the rest of this migraine away. So yeah, it's coming together. It'll just have a black pen with it and maybe a dot pen. And I do like this cover for now. I don't know that these colors really match that great, but I don't know if I want this one in my croc cover with my other planner. So for now it's going to live in here. And I did end up ordering some Hubman and Chub Girl die cuts. I had mentioned that in my Hubman and Chub Girl haul. So I will cover this one in die cuts and also my sterling ink. So right now it just lives in this Dreamy Soda Hobonichi cover, and so far so good. I'm just tweaking it from week to week. I don't exactly know how this one's going to play up. It's going to change and evolve. So yeah, that's all the planner goodness I have to discuss. I have my book here. There's the sapphire and it looks really pretty. Hi there, you snuck in really quiet. We're going to go pick up groceries and pick up tea in just a few minutes. Yeah.
That meeting?
You got to come with me because Daddy's got a meeting.
I don't care. I want to come for tea.
That's right. So,
Can we get tea first?
no, we're gonna go around and loop back. So we'll do tea last.
Okay.
But I gotta finish this.
Okay.
Okay, so I will do journaling here tonight. I'm gonna do my swatch and my advent. We're on day 20. I've got this flat one to open. The bracelet definitely adds to the vibe. You see, your sister made a bracelet. She said she's got to make bracelets for her party.
Oh, what?
Does he know he has an appointment?
Mommy,
Yeah, don't swing that around.
Happy Christmas Day.
Not.
Merry Christmas. Let me see it. No. So quit swinging it around now. Quit. Please, I want to swing it. No, Mom said no. Quit swinging it. Okay, Mommy. I'm not Mommy. Okay. I mean,
Woo! I'm worried he was missing his appointment.
hi, Mommy.
Okay, hi. You guys, no more talking. Let me finish this last couple minutes and then we'll go.
Okay. Okay. What are we going to?
We gotta go pick up groceries and we're gonna go stop and get me a coffee because my head is hurting and I think the caffeine might help. Your head's still hurting a little bit too?
Yes.
Well, the little bit of caffeine will maybe help you too with the other. All right. Oh,
Back to your thing.
Huh?
Back to your thing.
Yeah, back to my thing. All right, well, major kiddo distraction. I got the number on there. Didn't even open this. I think this is labels for presents. Yes, okay. Very, very cute. I will hold on to these and put them in my Christmas pile. I've got just a last little bit of presents to wrap. And I think I don't have even enough to use all these labels, but I will stick them in the gift wrap section and use them next year. So yeah, kids distracted me when I had stuck that down. We're still on the blue inks, so let's find the blue. All right, this one is one I do not like very much. At least I had trouble with it. Vinta Julio, and this one is a very light blue. It has some shimmer in it though, so we're gonna get that shimmer mixing in. And I don't have water, but we're just gonna do this. And I do like being able to use the dip pen, or not dip pen. I do like using the regular pen. Since I'm already filling up the pen, I wanna not even deal with the dip pen, if I can help it. Okay, that was quick to mix in. I will have to clip this page because it's bowing up, and probably because I stick that bookmark there. Oh well. Ooh, yeah, that one's super sparkly. I can see when I put the ink down, it was definitely sparkling. All right, Vinta Julio. Swirl that, and this one turns out really light on the page, so I am not a huge fan of this one. All right, clipping it, and I will clean my cap there, and then I will fill up my pen after I do my journaling. Okay, that's clipped, and now it is time for me to go get some groceries and drinks. I'm just gonna stop and go through the drive-thru and get drinks, and I think that's it. I told you guys all my little planner goodness. I feel like a little bit of a brain fog because I'm getting over that migraine, but so far so good. I feel like I'm forgetting to tell you guys something, but I think I told you guys all the goodness. Told you the B6 goodness, the decorating my Franken planner, and I do have that Franken planner coming up in Vlogmas. I don't know what day, but it's just basically an Erin Condren and a Moxie Life combined, and it's the first 6 months, and I'm super excited about it. I mentioned maybe yesterday, ooh, I do have one other thing. I had a question come up that I want to answer today, so I'm going to answer that question, but I've been working on my annual goals, and I told you guys I stuck sticky notes there. And it's the sticky notes from the packs of sticky notes. And there's one thing to note. The 2 packs of sticky notes are different colors. You can see they're not the same gray. They're just manufactured differently. So this was one sticky pack note. And these are the 1.5-inch chunky little sticky notes. And I'm just kind of outlining these may change. These may be permanent. But they're on there. So got that. I'm working on that. Okay, I had a question come up about TOMOE River paper planning. I have one lovely subscriber. I will put her name here because I'm sorry, I'm brain fogging and I don't have my computer to look it up right now. But she was asking me, what's the deal with the TOMOE River paper? Tell me like your best review. So I linked her to 2 pen tests that I did, and I linked her to my favorites video that I made on TOMOE River paper. But I'm going to do a quick little review and outline for you guys about the TOMOE River paper. Clearly, you guys know I love it. A lot of my planner lineup is going to be TOMOE River paper planners this year. I just love it. So first off, there were 2 kinds. This is the old TOMOE River paper. It's very cream colored. I wouldn't have liked this very much at all. I've been using this for Vlogmas, but I don't like this at all. But I've had the new TOMOE River paper. This is the Sanzin. I think the other one stopped making it, or they started making this paper instead of the other one. I don't know the details, all of that, but this is the first book I got. It's called the Sterling Ink Common Planner, and it has the Sanzin, which is the whiter color. It's just much more white, and I love this paper. So think of like Bible type of paper. It's super duper thin. It gets crispy. I've got swatches in one that's like really crispy. The thing with this paper is it does ghost because it is very, you know, very light, very see-through type of paper. So you can read things behind it that you're gonna write. Like this, you'll be able to see through it. It ghosts a ton, but it doesn't usually bleed through for pretty much anything except alcohol-based inks, or if you really saturate the paper, which I'm going to show you. I've got ink swatches in here that completely saturate the paper. You know, the ink is sitting on top, and it's a ton of ink, and it will end up soaking through. But other than that, like all your writing is up on the page, unless you're using like a Sharpie marker that has alcohol-based ink in it. Like any water-based thing pretty much just sits on the page. So like this is my Japanese practice. It's not leaking through the actual paper, and I'm using a really juicy pen here. I think this is an Energel N-free, but it is a very juicy pen that I have to wait a couple minutes and let it dry. It's not really a pen that I would typically recommend for this paper, but there's very, very few dots that even bled into the paper. But you can see through it, and I can feel the ridging on the paper because it is that crispy paper. Some people use pencil boards, and I happen to have one with my Hone. So some people will buy pencil boards if they don't want the ridging on the next sheets. So like if I'm pressing on this sheet, I'm getting ridging on the back sheets too. So you would get a pencil board the right size of your book and write on the pencil board. So only this sheet will get any ridging and then these sheets will not. So that is an option. I don't typically do that because I do like the ridging and I do like how crinkly it gets. This one hasn't been used a whole lot, but you can definitely still see the paper through it. Because I was using a juicy pen, I just wrote on one side of this paper, just to make it easy for me. And now this is a different pen. I think this is the Energel Clena, which is the one I love and recommend the most. No bleed through whatsoever, but it just looks really cool. Most papers I do write on both sides, but because I'm like concentrating on Japanese and it's a little bit challenging for me, I have to use just one side of the paper for the most part. But yeah, love, love, love this paper. You can see highlighted, nothing is bleeding through. So that's the beauty of it. And then it gets like fanned out and really crinkly. I'll show you my current book, but these are the samples. You can hear the paper. It just gets like really crinkly the more you use it, and it kind of fans out. It gets that little like waviness to it, and that's the beauty of the paper. I just love that aspect. But you can see I've got major bleed through because I'm soaking this paper, you know, I'm using a big ink sample. You can see how soaked in that paper is. It does end up bleeding through, but if you're just writing with fountain inks, you don't get that heavy of a bleed through. Like this is because I put a bunch of ink there and left it on the page. So it bled through quite a bit. But if I'm just writing, you're not getting bleed through on the actual writing itself. Like none of the writing is bleeding through. So that's just something to note. It's very fountain pen friendly. And that's the Venta Julio, by the way, the one I just did right here. The writing in the fountain pen is awesome on this because it doesn't bleed through and you can use those beautiful fountain inks. And like this, you're hearing the crispiness. I just love the crispiness. So honestly, it's not for everybody. One thing, the downside I would say is the grid on these type of planners is very small. It's not gonna be like your Erin Condren and your Moxie Life thicker lines. Like compare those lines to those little grids. It's a much smaller writing, so if you have big handwriting, it is an adjustment, and I am a person with really big handwriting, so it was an adjustment for me to start writing, you know, in these grids, very small. You can also double up if you want like a full-size line. It would be a little bit bigger, I think, than these lines, but that's just something to note. That's like the main adjustment point that I had, is writing smaller, and I fell in love. Most of my planners this year are going to be Tomoe River paper planners, but you can see those pages that got used up. Imagine a whole book of these fluffy, pretty crinkly pages. It's just so fun, and as you can see, I just love the books. Most of my books are going to be Tomoe River paper, but look, this is my one that I've been using. I have it for sticker sneezing and stuff. It's something I will do a walkthrough at the end of the year, but it just gets like this, fluffy. All these are mostly journaled on, or I've got swatches in here. Some that are like just swatches and cute things, swatches. A lot of it's like journaling that I'm not willing to share because it's, you know, personal stuff, but it's just, it gets that fluffy, feathery look to it, and that's what I think the beauty is in these books. Of course, they're designed really beautifully with the grayscale inks. It's very simple, like they're mostly grayscale. This was an undated one, so unfortunately it doesn't even have any of the grayscale hardly, except the numbers, but they're just so sleek and beautiful, and I love the paper, and that's mainly the reason. Like this fluffiness that you get. So this is a half year, and let's see, this is the equivalent half year size. So this one's been used for 6 months, and it's like 3 times bigger than this. And that's because I bulked it up with tons of stickers, and it will still get fluffy once you write on it, especially if you write on both sides and you get lots of ridging and you don't use a pencil board. But this is me chunking it up with stickers too. So the pages are all ridged and fluffy, and then I also have stickers and washi and everything in there to really bulk this thing up. So I've really enjoyed them. I highly recommend trying out a Tomoe River paper planner. It was definitely a huge game changer for me. I didn't even realize I liked bound books hardly at all. I was totally like, every one I want is a spiral. Now, game changer. I really like these little smaller books. I've gotten used to writing smaller when I have these kind of grids, so it doesn't bother me anymore. At first it was, and then yeah, the Take a Note has even smaller grids, so I don't use the Take a Note planner, but otherwise they mostly have the same size grid in all these other planners, and I just love them. So there's my quick paper review. It's just so fun and so crinkly. Like, you get that crinkliness to it that I just love. So yeah, it's very Bible-y thin paper. You get tons of ghosting, very few things bleed through, like I said, and fountain pen friendly. So now I'm like obsessed with fountain pens because I decided to dive into that rabbit hole of all the colors and things. But I wanted to give you guys that review. Thank you for your question. I think it was a great question. Just asking, you know, about the Tomoe River paper. There's a little mark there. But there you go. There's my answer to the question. We did our swatch already. We did our advent. Let's go ahead and hop into today's video. And at this point, I don't even know what it is. So you're going to find out with me in just a minute. Hey everyone, it's Sami from Sami's Sweet Life, and we are back with another ink sampling thing. I just wrapped up my last one, and we're going to do 10 more samples on these pages. I had a lot of fun. I still have room for 3 more samples here, so I might squeeze in 3 a different time, but I'm feeling like totally getting inky, so I've got lots of room here. I'm going to grab baby wipes, and I've got tissues handy. I'm going to decide what colors I'm going to use for these 10 swatches. I'm going to swatch them in both books, and I'm going to do the writing in these later because I'm a lefty. I cannot handle wet ink and you know, writing at the same time. So we're gonna do one after the other. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, I have 13 samples, so I can do 10 here and then the 3 on this page, but not today. I'll do the 10 first because I really want to get inky and play around with colors. Definitely want to do some pinks. I got Malibu Blush. That's a tongue twister. Got this really pretty deep color Othello. Let's see what else. Ooh, I wanted to do this one, Dusted Truffle. That's a shimmery one. I've got quite a few good brown colors. This one's also another pink, Fairy Tale Pink. I guess I'll put those side by side. I'm trying to like make my lineup. Dark Rust is more of a dusty pink. I've got a few really good looking blue samples. Ooh, this one's another one, and I don't even know how to pronounce this. Verdigris? Verdigris? I'll put that next to Othello. Dusted Truffle. What do we got? We've got a couple of purpley pinkies. We've got Lady Rose. We've got Violet Clouds. I'll say the names of them when I figure out my lineup here. Got 3 blues. I think I'm going to save these 3 blues for my next page and then put the 2 brown colors in here. So let's see, I'm lining things up. These are all brownish shades. Dark Rust might be an in-between of the dark colors. And then we've got Espresso and Caramel Sparkle. All right, that one might need to go next to Dusted Truffle. Okay, so I kind of made a rainbow order of purples to pinks. Got 2 brighter colored pinks. So I'm gonna move Lady Rose over because it looks like it's a darker color. Could lean totally brown. I'm not exactly sure about that one. It's got purple-ish writing, so I don't know. I don't know if that's much true to color. Dark Rust, the gray to brown over here. All right, that's what we're gonna do. I'm excited about this one. I need some pipettes. First, we're gonna start with this purpley color. This is called Violet Clouds, Robert Oster, and it's a shimmer. So I'm gonna move this around a little bit and get that shimmer mixing in. I'm gonna do the 2 samples, swirl them around. I wish I had an empty vial, which I do not have. Swirl it. This is like my favorite part, is the swirling and seeing how it dries down. So much fun. That is really pretty. It's a deep purple looking color. I don't know, I was expecting it to be lighter. And I'm gonna set it right back in my lineup so I can write the names later. This one is Fairy Tale Pink by Inky Barra. Ooh, I love that one. It's like a flamingo pink. Gorgeous. If you don't know, I'm very much a pink girl. So Barbie, all the Barbie pinks, I lived for that. Lived for all that pinky goodness. All right, again, Inky Barra Fairy Tale Pink. Another very bright pink Malibu Blush, and this is from Ferris Wheel Press, and I have really liked looking at their inks, but I've not actually purchased very many of their inks yet. But they are definitely on my list of colors I really am interested in. They have some really bright, fun colors. Ooh, that was a big swatch. Oh, that one leans very much more like salmon-y looking to me. Whereas this feels like way more Barbie pink. This feels very coral to me, which is still beautiful, still in the realm of colors I really dig. Next one, this is another Ferris Wheel Press. This one's called Lady Rose, and this one doesn't have any shimmer. I thought for a second it might. This is a darker color, and I don't know if this one means pink at all. This one might be completely brown, but the thing on it says rose, and I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna get from this. It looks very much brown. So far, my favorite part of ink swatching is just making the circles and looking at the inks when they dry. And as they dry, they spread out and they just look really pretty. Yeah, I don't see very much rose in that at all. It looks very much brown, but it's very pretty. It's an antique brown. And this is Conklin Dark Rust. No shimmer here. Okay, last one for this page. And I feel like the next page is much easier to work with because it's flatter. Ooh, very dark. I like that one. Different than I was expecting. I'm interested to see how that one dries down. All right, this one is Wearing Go Othello. We're gonna move pages, these two. Ooh, that one's really green. Got some green going on with that one. Very pretty. I wasn't expecting that much of a green leaning color. Very nice. That one's very earthy. All right, next. This is, oh my gosh, this is the one I cannot pronounce. Rohrer and Klinger? Verdigris. That's what I'm going with. I have no idea. I totally butchered every single part of that name. This is another darker color. Ooh, I love that one. That one is like the ultimate deep teal. I put way too much on that one. All right, I'm going to replace water. Okay, so this is Diamine Green Edition. So this one came, I think, in one of the advent calendars, possibly. Green Edition. I'm swirling, getting all that shimmer mixed in. Adding way too many air bubbles, probably, but that's okay. For this kind of swatch, it's fine. I'm interested in this one. This one has a really interesting color shift from other swatches and samples I've seen of it. Ooh, it leans way greener than I was expecting. Again, like the other one was very green leaning. That swirl was very not round. Okay, I'd like to see how that one dries down. It is very interesting. Okay, let that one settle. And this one is called Caramel Sparkle. This is from Diamine Shimmertastic. So I don't know the different collections or anything. I just know they had an advent calendar. They call it an ink vent calendar, and it's 25 inks, and I was super tempted, but I don't want to not know what I'm buying. I don't really like advent calendars that much. I did get a Hubman and Chub Girl one. It's like I know what I like. I like their stuff. I'm not sure about ink samples. I don't like red that much. I was afraid, you know, it's a Christmas box. I was afraid to get quite a bit of reds and not be happy with that because I probably won't buy very many reds at all. It's just not my color, not my thing. That's gorgeous. Speaking of not buying reds, this is a very red leaning color right here. So pretty. It definitely has a reddish hue to it. It's still beautiful. I can't wait to see how that one dries. And last one for tonight is Diamine 150th Anniversary Espresso. So this one's just a plain old ink, a dark brownish color. That one was really big, and it definitely looks like espresso. Ground coffee. Ooh, I love that color. That's going to be a really pretty one to write with because it's nice and dark. I'm digging that. Okay, so we're seeing a little bit of dry down. I feel like I might have to take back what I said about the second pink on here. I felt like it really leaned very coral, and it looks way brighter of pink now that it's drying down. So I'm digging that one. That one is the Malibu Blush. I'm totally messing up the L's and the B's in that. Malibu Blush by Ferris Wheel Press. Totally digging it. This one dried down a bit more like blue tinted. This is the Fairy Tale Pink from Inky Barra. And yeah, I like both of those a lot. This one on the top is really pretty. Violet Clouds. It has a really cool shift to it. It is a shimmery one. Let's see. It's not all the way dry yet. That one looks really fun on both pages. This is the Dark Rust, and it looks really, really red on this one. Like, just almost like blood red. This is the Lady Rose. I'm not getting like very much dusty pink vibes from that at all. It just, I don't know, it leans a little bit maybe warm. Not super sold on that one yet. Just looks like a neutral. Loving this one. This is the Verdigris, the dark tealy color. Loving it actually on both swatches, but more so here. I feel like it's looking really good. The Othello, gorgeous. That's one I definitely will use a ton. And this one's not drying as greenish as I thought it was. This is the Dusted Truffle. It's drying much more warm and brownish looking to me. I like so far what I'm seeing. Oh my gosh, this Caramel Sparkle, gorgeous. Still leaning red. but it's not close to drying yet, and it's getting more of a golden shimmery look in the middle there. And then of course I'm gonna love the espresso. I think it looks more warm on here and then a little bit more muted where it's starting to dry down a little bit. So I'm digging what I see. I don't really like this one. This is the dark rust. I do not like it on this paper. It just really washes out, and I don't know even what to call that. It doesn't remind me of rust at all. It just looks very, I don't know, dusty and ashy looking. Not a huge fan of that one on this paper. On here it looks really pretty. I feel like it looks like a deep red. As much as I just bashed reds, I think that's a really pretty red. And like, I'm wearing red for Christmassy time, so I don't hate red completely. It's just my least favorite of all the colors, I think, is red. But yeah, I really can't wait to see what they look like in the morning when they dry. Alrighty, these are all dry. I don't know that I've even shown them. It's been a little while, but it's late at night, so we've got just light from the ring light in here. They look really, really pretty. I especially love the caramel sparkle. I think this one's the Othello here, which I think is also really pretty. I actually ended up liking the rust a lot, even though it's a very reddish color. And of course, like the pinks, the purples. This one's Lady Rose. Dusted Truffle, I think is this one. Lady Rose I ended up really liking on this paper too. Some of the colors got way faded out on this, you know, like bullet journal-y, creamier type of paper. I just don't really like how these ones ended up looking when they soaked into the paper. The caramel swirl, gorgeous, and the Othello, gorgeous on this one, but the rest I'm just not super impressed with on this paper. So it may be a case of I end up just using this as a swatch book. Oh, we got major bleed through there. Let's see on this side. Not so bad. There's a few places that definitely saturated into the paper, but nothing bled all the way through this paper. I've been really impressed how this paper has held up. Again, a couple of bleed through spots. I would consider this a bleed through. It's most of the way through the paper there. Okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna use the dip pen, hopefully get some decent results writing with these. And yeah, start from the beginning. I have everything in the right order down the pages, so that's gonna be helpful. I'm just gonna write the names on all of these, and these are sables that are big enough that I can dip them in. The only problem is, at least for me, I tend to tap the edge of the pen on the rim and like the dots on the side and get ink all over my fingers some of the time. So I'm gonna try really hard not to do that, but the pen is very much, pretty much as thick. And look, nothing stuck to that. See, I'm gonna have to like, I might have to do the burn technique people have mentioned, where you like burn the tip very lightly, because yeah, this is not the best. Got some ink on there that time. Okay, take two. We're gonna try over here now. Same ink. I didn't swirl it around or anything. And yeah, I lit this puppy on fire for a second. I totally touched. Yeah, see, that's what I expect. Okay. I have noticed that the people I watch swatches for always do the same sort of designs. I think it's interesting. They all use the same kind of swirls and leaves and whatever they do, they're all doing the same ones. So I don't know if that's like a standard thing. If you're ink swatching, you use the same like leaves and diamond patterns and all sorts of things. I'm just gonna do lots of hearts, pretty much. I don't know, just something about these last ones. I was not impressed with this paper at all, so not sure about continuing on with this one. Okay, we'll let that dry for a second, and then I'm gonna do the other 3 swatches. All right, I'm gonna let those dry and then we'll take a look at them tomorrow. Hopefully in some natural light. It was rainy and overcast today, so hopefully it will look a little less rainy and overcast tomorrow. I like this one's got some purple showing through. The shimmer on this one looks awesome. I'm not sure we're gonna see any actual shimmer on here, but I think it is supposed to be a shimmer. Okay, today's giveaway is a little bit strange. Possibly I ended up getting this Cultivate What Matters wildcard pack. I don't even think I ever opened this or reviewed this on this channel, but I did open it and look at it, and it is old. This is from 2022, and I do think that they have redone this to where I don't know that you can buy these printed packs. I think it's just now like a PDF printable that you can get, but not actual physical thing. And so some of these will be outdated, like this calendar, but the rest of them are undated and totally usable for goals, for weekly resets, for the legacy pages, celebrating wins. Like all of these things aren't date specific, they just are in here. And yeah, lots of these goals pages. So if you want to write out your goals and map them out, it gives you quite a few pages to do that with. And I think it's still valuable. If you're not in the Cultivate What Matters planners, I feel like this is a really good way to like start all of the kind of prep work stuff. It also has these cute little sheets here, books to read, what to read next, organization projects, like lots of good valuable stuff that you could put in with whatever planner system you're using. So I'm gonna include that as a giveaway. I know it has the year calendar that's wrong, but otherwise I feel like it still could add value. And again, like if it doesn't interest you, don't enter the giveaway. That's just how all the giveaways are. It's like I'm putting everything separated out so that if something doesn't appeal to you, you don't have to enter. Because like for me personally, I don't use Cultivate What Matters stuff very much anymore, so this wouldn't appeal to me personally. And now this is a planner company I never actually ended up reviewing for you guys. I ended up receiving a prototype, so this is a kind of a special different item. This is one of their prototype planners before they started launching their business. And then I just never ended up reviewing their planners for whatever reason, but it's a really cute setup. I might have like done some pin testing somewhere in here, and that was it, I think. I have some pin testing. Yeah, look, pin testing, all of the pages did really good. Like, look at that. That's a great pin test. You get some ghosting, but nothing bled through. Their paper's really nice. I love they had coloring pages in between, but this is a prototype, so it's not like I could walk through this really on my channel or anything, but it was a nice planner and it's undated, so it definitely could still be of value for somebody. And their covers, oh yeah, I did use it 1 week. I will take that out, but look there, I used it for 1 week, like just setting it up. But that was it. And I never ended up showing it or anything, but it's a really nice planner. So I thought somebody would get some really good value out of it. I love they have lots of monthly stuff built in and like the cute little doodles all over the place. Super duper cute. It's a good option. So I thought I would include it as a giveaway. It's something you couldn't even buy this prototype or anything. They have different everything now. So hope you guys like these two giveaways. They're kind of like the oddball ones. For whatever reason, they just never went up on the channel, but I feel like somebody would still get value out of them. If you're interested in the giveaway, check down below and enter through the Rafflecopter. It has all the information there for you, how to enter and get bonus entries and all the legal stuff down there. So hope you guys like today's kind of different kind of giveaway. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me along, and I will catch you next time. Bye guys.